Dame Enid Diana Elizabeth Rigg, DBE, is an English actress. She is perhaps best known for the role of Emma Peel in the TV series The Avengers, which she appeared in from 1965 to 1968. She has also had an extensive career in the theatre both in Britain and America. Rigg made her professional stage debut in 1957 in the Caucasian Chalk Circle and joined the Royal Shakespeare Company in 1959. In 1971, she made her Broadway debut in Abelard and Heloise. She played Medea in 1992 at the Almeida and Wyndhams in London and again in New York, where she won the 1994 Tony Award for Best Actress in a Play. On television, she starred in the 1989 BBC miniseries Mother Love, for which she won a BAFTA Award for Best Actress, and the 1997 adaptation of Rebecca, which won her an Emmy Award. Her film roles include Helena, in A Midsummer Night's Dream, Countess Teresa di Vicenzo in the James Bond film On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Lady Holiday in The Great Muppet Caper, and Arlene Marshall in Evil Under the Sun. Rigg was made a CBE in 1988 and a Dame in 1994. She is considered a sex symbol and an icon of 1960s feminism. Biography, early life and education. Rigg was born in Doncaster, then in the West Riding of Yorkshire, now in South Yorkshire, to Louis Rigg and Beryl Hilda. Her father was a railway engineer who had been born in Yorkshire. Between the ages of 2 months and 8 years, Rigg lived in Bikaner, India, where her father was employed as a railway executive. Hindi was her second language in those young years. She was then sent to a boarding school, the Moravian School in Fulnik, near Pudsey. She disliked her boarding school, where she felt like a fish out of water, but she believes that Yorkshire played a greater part in shaping her character than India did. She trained as an actress at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art from 1955-57. Theatre career. Rigg's career in film, television and the theatre has been wide-ranging, including roles in the Royal Shakespeare Company between 1959 and 1964. Her professional debut was in the RADA production of the Caucasian Chalk Circle at the York Festival in 1957. Her role was Natasha Abashali. A return to the stage and a nude scene with Keith Michael in the Ronald Miller play Abelard and Heloise in 1970 led to a notorious description of her as built like a brick basilica with insufficient flying buttresses, by the acerbic critic John Simon. Following its success in London, she made her Broadway debut with a play in 1971, earning the first of 3 Tony Award nominations for Best Actress in a Play. She received her second nomination in 1975, for The Misanthrope. A member of the National Theatre Company at the Old Vic from 1972 to 1975, Rigg took leading roles in premiere productions of 2 Tom Stoppard plays, Dorothy Moore in Jumpers and Ruth Carson in Night and Day. In 1982, she appeared in a musical called Colette, based on the life of the French writer and created by Tom Jones and Harvey Schmidt, but it closed during an American tour en route to Broadway. In 1987 she took a leading role in the West End production of Stephen Sondheim's musical Follies. In the 1990s, she had triumphs with roles at the Almeida Theatre in Islington, including Medea in 1992, Mother Courage at the National Theatre in 1995 and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? At the Almeida Theatre in 1996. In 2004, she appeared as Violet Venable in Sheffield Theatre's production of Tennessee Williams's play Suddenly Last Summer, which transferred to the Albury Theatre. In 2006, she appeared at the Wyndham's Theatre in London's West End in a drama entitled Honour, which had a limited but successful run. In 2007, she appeared as Huma Rojo in the Old Vic's production of All About My Mother, adapted by Samuel Adamson and based on the film of the same title directed by Pedro Almodovar. She appeared in 2008 in The Cherry Orchard at the Chichester Festival Theatre, returning there in 2009 to star in Noel Coward's Hay Fever. In 2011 she played Mrs. Higgins in Pygmalion at the Garrick Theatre, opposite Rupert Everett and Cara Toynton, having played Eliza Doolittle 37 years earlier at the Albury Theatre. Film and television career. Rigg appeared in the cult British 1960s television series The Avengers, playing the secret agent Mrs. Emma Peel in 51 episodes, replacing Elizabeth Shepherd at very short notice when Shepherd was dropped from the role after filming 2 episodes. Rigg auditioned for the role of Emma Peel on a whim, without ever having seen the program. Although she was hugely successful in the series, she disliked the lack of privacy that it brought. She also did not like the way that she was treated by the Associated British Corporation. After a dozen episodes, she discovered that she was being paid less than a cameraman. For her second season, she held out for a pay rise from £150 a week to £450, but there was still no question of her staying for a third year. Patrick McNee, her co-star in the series, noted that Rigg had later told him that she considered McNee and her driver to be her only friends on the set. On the big screen she became a Bond girl and on Her Majesty's Secret Service, playing Tracy Bond, James Bond's only wife. She said she took the role with the hope that she would become well known in America. Throughout the filming of the movie, there were rumors that the experience was not a happy one, owing to a personality clash with Bond actor George Lazenby. The rumors may have arisen from a reporter witnessing her say, "I'm having garlic for lunch, George, I hope you are," before a love scene between the two. However, both Rigg and Lazenby have denied the claims, and both wrote off the garlic comment as a joke. Her other films from this period include The Assassination Bureau, The Hospital, Theatre of Blood, In This House of Breed and A Little Night Music. She appeared as the title character in The Marquise, a television adaptation of play by Noel Coward. In 1981 she appeared in a Yorkshire television production of Hedda Gabler in the title role, and as Lady Holiday in the film The Great Muppet Caper. The following year she received acclaim for her performance as Arlena Marshall in the film adaptation of Agatha Christie's Evil Under the Sun. She appeared as Regan, the king's treacherous second daughter, in a Granada television production of King Lear, which starred Laurence Olivier in the title role. She co-starred with Denham Elliott in a television version of Dickens' Bleak House, and played the Wicked Queen in the canon adaptation of Snow White. In 1989 she played Helena Vesey in Mother Love for the BBC. Her portrayal of an obsessive mother who was prepared to do anything, even murder, to keep control of her son won Rigg the 1989 BAFTA for Best Television Actress. In the 1990s she appeared on television as Mrs. Danvers in Rebecca, as well as the PBS production Moll Flanders, and as the amateur detective Mrs. Bradley in the Mrs. Bradley Mysteries. In this BBC series, first aired in 2000, she played Gladys Mitchell's detective, Dame Beatrice Adela Lestrange Bradley, an eccentric old woman who worked for Scotland Yard as a pathologist. The series was not a critical success and did not return for a second season. From 1989 until 2003, she hosted the PBS television series Mystery. Taking over from Vincent Price, her co-star from Theatre of Blood. Her TV career in America has been varied. Anomalously she starred in her own sitcom Diana in 1973, but it was not successful. She also appeared in the second series of Ricky Gervais' hit comedy Extras, alongside Harry Potter star Daniel Radcliffe, and in the 2006 film The Painted Veil. In 2013 she appeared in an episode of Doctor Who in a Victorian-era based story called The Crimson Horror alongside her daughter Rachel Sterling, Matt Smith and Jenna Louise Coleman. The episode had been specially written for her and her daughter by Mark Gatiss and aired as part of Series 7. It was not the first time mother and daughter had appeared in the same production that was in the 2000 NBC film In the Beginning but the first time she had worked with her daughter and also the first time in her career her roots were accessed to find a Doncaster, Yorkshire, accent. The same year, Rigg secured a recurring role in the third season of the HBO series Game of Thrones, portraying Lady Olenna Tyrell, a witty and sarcastic political mastermind popularly known as the Queen of Thorns, the grandmother of regular character Margaery Tyrell. Her performance was well received by critics and audiences alike, and earned her an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Drama Series for the 65th Primetime Emmy Awards in 2013. She reprised her role in Season 4 of Game of Thrones, and in July 2014 received another Guest Actress Emmy nomination. Personal life: in the mid-1960s, Rigg lived for 8 years with actor-director Philip Saville, causing some degree of scandal in the tabloids when she disclaimed interest in marrying the older, already married Saville, by saying she had no desire to be respectable. Her marriage to Menachem Guifen, an Israeli painter, lasted from 1973 until their divorce in 1976, at which time Seville gave her moral support by phoning every day, while telling the press, "When a woman has been in your life a long time, she never really leaves it. I hope to be seeing her often, but I have no plans to marry her." She was married to Archibald Sterling, a theatrical producer and former officer in the Scots Guards, from 1982 until they divorced in 1990. The marriage broke up when Sterling had an affair with actress Jolie Richardson. With Sterling, Rigg has a daughter, actress Rachel Sterling, who was born in 1977. Rigg was made a Commander of the Order of the British Empire in 1988 and a Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire in 1994. Rigg is a patron of International Care and Relief and was for many years the public face of the charity's child sponsorship scheme. She was also Chancellor of the University of Stirling, being succeeded by James Naughtie when her 10-year term of office ended on July 31, 2008. Michael Parkinson, who first interviewed Rigg in 1972, described her as the most desirable woman he ever met, who radiated a lustrous beauty. A smoker from the age of 18, Rigg was still smoking 20 cigarettes a day in 2009, but in 2011 she said she had given up smoking because she had to. Rigg received honorary degrees from the University of Stirling in 1988 and the University of Leeds in 1992. Filmography, film, television, theatre, awards and nominations, references. External links, Diana Rigg at the Internet Broadway Database, Diana Rigg at the Internet Movie Database, Diana Rigg at the TCM Movie Database, dianarigg.net, unofficial website.